Welcome to part 4 of the arthropod notes. This section is going to talk about the orders of insects. You will not need to know all of these orders. The one that I want you to focus on is order Orthoptera, which is where grasshoppers are. Because we'll be focusing on the grasshopper for our dissection, you should know which order it belongs to. So we'll go through these rather quickly. These are order Collembola. This is the springtails. They're rather small and they have a furcula for jumping, that little extra appendage at the back, and they do not have wings. Here's firebrats. I don't know if you've seen these before, but they don't have wings either. Dragonflies, order Odonota. They do have 2 pairs of large wings, the damselflies. Here we go, order Orthoptera. This is the one you need to remember. Grasshoppers belong here, so do cockroaches, praying mantises, and crickets. You can take a moment to label your diagram. This is showing you what the internal structure is. You will be identifying many of these parts. And just so you're aware, the exoskeleton of these insects are moved by muscles that are attached to the inside of the exoskeleton. And the muscles aren't really shown here, but that's how they are able to move. So they do have types of muscle tissue. Here's another diagram. You'll want to make sure you label. They, just as an addition here, remember the spiracles are located on each of the segments of the abdomen, and they have tracheal tubes that run all the way along each side, inside of them, moving the air around. They have a mandible that's attached to their head, that's their jaw, and just make sure you label or identify where the abdomen is and where the thorax is, because you might just see that on a test. So grasshoppers are divided into 3 body parts: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. The head has mouth parts and a pair of unbranched antennae. They have simple and compound eyes. The thorax has 3 parts. It's got a prothorax, and it attaches to the head and has the first pair of legs on it. Then you have the mesothorax. Meso means in the middle, and this is where you'll find the 4 wings and the second pair of legs attached. And then the last segment, or last part, is the metathorax, and that attaches to the abdomen. It also has hind wings and jumping legs attached to it. The jumping legs will have spines and hooks that help them attach as they're jumping and landing. Here's an up-close view. You can see the little spines on the last part of their leg there, the tibia area. But they do have a little femur. Even though they don't have a bone inside, it's still called the similar name as it is in our bodies. They will have a pair of leathery forewings, which cover the membranous hind wing when it's not flying. The hind wings are powered by muscles that are attached to the inside of the exoskeleton. The segments in the last stigmata in the abdomen are composed of upper and lower plates joined together by a flexible sheet of exoskeleton, and you'll see that it's a lot softer on the abdomen than it is in the thorax region. Grasshoppers are herbivores, and their mouth parts are used for cutting and chewing leaves and grass. Their upper lip is called the labrum, and lower part of their lip is called the labium. And you'll actually be pulling these pieces off individually as we dissect the head of our grasshopper. They hold the food. The labium and the labrum help hold the food while the mandibles tear off pieces. And then behind the mandibles are called maxillae, which also help cut and hold the food. And you can see on a side view diagram where these mouth parts are located. And it's going to be challenging, but you will have to locate these on your actual specimen. This one kind of shows where all the parts are. Some of them are kind of under other parts, so it's a little more difficult to see what they look like. But you'll actually have a diagram very similar to this in the dissection, so you can help identify each of these parts. Okay, so now we move on to other orders. Like I said, the grasshopper order is the only one you really need to focus on. So these are just fun ones to look through. This contains the little earwigs, the order Dermaptera. They have little forceps like cerci on their abdomen, short little wings. Termites, order Isoptera. They are white. They have a broad waist, and they are winged. They have winged and wingless. They do have a caste system similar like bees do, so there will be a queen termite. And these guys love to eat wood, so they are very destructive if they're in the wrong places. Here we have order Hymenoptera. This includes cicadas, aphids, and leafhoppers. Their wings are described as roof-like because of the angle of their shape. Then we have order Hymenoptera. These are considered true bugs, as if all insects aren't bugs, right? But their front wing is kind of a leathery wing, and then the back part of their wing is more membranous. So this basal portion, the leathery part, kind of covers the membrane part. Order Coleoptera, these are the beetles. There's like 350,000 different species of beetles, but they have hard front wings, and then they kind of open up, and that's where you'll find their little membranous wings underneath. If you think about ladybugs, that's how they're structured. Okay, this order has butterflies and moths in it. Their antennae have little knobs on the ends of them to give them more ability to sense their environment. Moths will have scales on their wings, and both types of larvae are called caterpillars. Here we have the order Diptera. These are the flies and mosquitoes. They'll have one pair of wings. Order Hymenoptera. These are bees, wasps, and ants, and they have 4 membranous wings and a narrow waist. Order Anoplura. These are the lice. They do not have wings. They have a claw. They'll have sucking mouth parts, and they are parasites. They are species specific though, so cat lice will only stay on cats. They don't go on people or dogs or anything like that. So each species kind of has their own set of lice species. Then we have order Siphonaptera. These are the fleas. They are flattened laterally. They have spines on their legs and body, and they are also parasites. Here's one of the largest insects that you can see, the wadabug. And from here on to the end of the slideshow is kind of little mini quizzes that you have to figure out. Like this one example is asking you which one is showing class Insecta, which is class Arachnida, and think about why. So remember, you're looking at their body parts. Do they have 2 or 3 body parts? How many legs do they have? Those are the types of characteristics that you'll be looking for.